James Franco, who was once the James Dean of his generation, fell down hard from grace. In fact, in one of his initial breakout roles, Franco earned an Emmy nomination and won a Golden Globe for portraying the 50s screen legend in the 2001 TV biopic James Dean. But fast forward, 20 years later, due to a series of sexual misconduct allegations, the 43-year-old star has fallen from Hollywood heartthrob to disaster artist. Don't forget to watch today's video to the very end to find out why, and about whom James Franco says Hollywood boycotted him because of her. Falling from grace. A creative and once influential force in Hollywood with a reputation for being indefatigable, Franco has acted in several notable films and TV shows over his 20-year career. They include Freaks and Geeks, Pineapple Express, and 127 Hours, which netted him an Oscar nomination for lead actor. He's directed episodes of HBO's The Deuce, on which he stars in 2 leading roles, playing twins, and served as a producer on films and TV shows, including The Interview and the Hulu series 11/22/63. His affinity for tackling unexpected projects, coupled with a prolific work ethic, have become part of his Hollywood mystique. Over the last decade, he's directed more than 24 low-budget indie features and shorts, written books, and even turned his experience co-starring on soap opera General Hospital into an exhibit at the Museum of Contemporary Art. In 2014, he launched a film school, Studio 4 in Los Angeles and New York, where he taught and mentored hundreds of aspiring actors and filmmakers. Both locations abruptly closed back in 2018, owing in part to the same sexual misconduct allegations surfacing against him. Franco had also attracted attention for controversial behavior previously, as in 2014, he used Instagram to ask a 17-year-old British girl he'd met outside a New York theater if she had a boyfriend and whether she was 18. Even after learning her age, he asked for the name of her hotel and if he should rent a room. After that episode became public, Franco apologized on ABC Live with Kelly and Michael. "I'm embarrassed, and I guess I'm just a model of how social media is tricky," he said. "I use bad judgment, and I learned my lesson." She speaks up. Tyler Kaplan is one of 5 women who, in interviews with The Times, accused Franco, 39, of behavior they found to be inappropriate or sexually exploitative. 4 were his students, and another said he was her mentor. In some cases, they said they believed Franco could offer them career advancement and acquiesced to his wishes even when they were uncomfortable. "I feel there was an abuse of power, and there was a culture of exploiting non-celebrity women, and a culture of women being replaceable," said Tyler Kaplan, who was one of many women who took to Twitter to vent anger over Franco's win and his support of Time's Up, the initiative combating sexual misconduct in Hollywood. She told The Times that in a nude orgy scene she filmed with Franco and several women 3 years ago, he removed protective plastic guards, covering other actresses' private areas while simulating unacceptable acts on them. 2 other student actresses also recounted negative on-set experiences. Both said Franco became angry when no women, while at the shoot, would agree to be topless. Franco's attorney, Michael Plonsker, disputed all of the women's allegations and directed The Times to Franco's comments on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. "Look, in my life I pride myself on taking responsibility for things that I have done," he told Colbert. "I have to do that to maintain my well-being. The things that I heard that were on Twitter are not accurate. But I completely support people coming out and being able to have a voice, because they didn't have a voice for so long. So I don't want to shut them down in any way. If I have done something wrong, I will fix it. I have to." Teacher-student inappropriacy. Before opening his own acting school, Studio 4, Franco taught at Playhouse West in North Hollywood. 2 of his former students there said he put female students in uncomfortable situations beyond the normal parameters of acting class. Hillary Dusum, 33, who took a class from Franco in 2012, said that at first, she found him to be a really generous spirit, eager to help aspiring actors. Her feelings shifted after being selected to appear with a handful of other female students in what she thought was one of Franco's art films. Natalie Chumiel, the other student, said she was told the footage would be used in a 7 for All Mankind jeans commercial. Both women described what they considered to be an unprofessional and hostile shoot at a strip club. Chumiel, 33, also recalled another instance in which Franco asked the actresses if any of them wanted to take their top off on set, and that he was visibly angry when they declined. Franco did not make the request the women alleged. His attorney responded to these allegations. Tales from Studio 4. Franco launched Studio 4 in 2014 in association with Playhouse West. The North Hollywood School opened first, the New York City outpost soon thereafter. One of the things that makes Studio 4 different from other acting schools, Franco promised, was its ability to funnel promising talent into the actor's own projects. Indeed, the schools now closed websites that Franco and his production company, Rabbit Bandini Productions, would cast roles directly from his classes and will involve his students in a variety of his film and art projects. But several students said that these parts were rarely handed out to people in the classes. They would tell us that smaller parts in their projects were being held exclusively for students. Often they were opportunities for extra work or parts that required nudity, said Devin LaBella, who spent a year as a student at the NoHo location. Katie Ryan, who met Franco at Playhouse West and took several classes at Studio 4, said the actor would always make everybody think there were possible roles on the table if we were to perform sexual acts or take off our shirts in his projects. She said that for years, she received mass email requests from Franco to audition for roles playing a prostitute or a hooker. Franco is not aware that any of the actions alleged by Miss Ryan ever occurred, his attorney said. The red hot flags. As part of Tyler Kaplan's experience in a sex scenes class, she and her partner created a short film, Hungry Girl, which shows her topless and was uploaded to the video sharing website Vimeo. Last year, she discovered images from the film on at least one pornography website. Now, if you Google me, you can see me naked, said Tyler Kaplan, 26. Before I've ever been on TV, or before I've ever had any real credits, or before any of this, of course I regret that. I don't want that. In 2015, Franco asked Tyler Kaplan to play a prostitute in another of his projects, the feature film The Long Home, with a cast that included him, Josh Hutcherson, Courtney Love, and Timothy Hutton. The part required her to perform nude, and she agreed because she considered it a big break. But one day on set in May 2015, a producer approached her and other women to ask if they wanted to film a bonus scene of an orgy. In it, Tyler Kaplan appeared fully nude, she said. Then, Tyler Kaplan said, she and her female co-stars were asked to appear topless in an unscripted scene and dance around Franco while wearing animal skulls atop their heads. One actress who balked was sent home the next day, Tyler Kaplan said. I got it in my head pretty quickly that, okay, you don't say no to this guy, she said. Franco's attorney, in response, pointed to numerous social media posts by Tyler Kaplan that reflected a positive experience on the set. Tyler Kaplan acknowledged those glowing remarks. She said she had been excited about making new friends during production and also wanted to promote her work on a notable project. Still, she said, the negative experiences were red flags. The aftermath, although having denied all the sexual allegations since the beginning, James Franco did finally agree to pay $2.2 million to settle a class action lawsuit for allegedly pushing his former film students to perform increasingly explicit sex scenes on camera a year after the allegations surfaced. As for the reaction from Hollywood, well, the wind had pretty much been knocked out of Franco's career, with even his good friend Rogen abandoning him. The last film they collaborated on was 2017's The Disaster Artist, and the comedian told the Sunday Times it's not a coincidence that the two are no longer working together after the allegations. What I can say is that I despise abuse and harassment, and I would never cover or conceal the actions of someone doing it, or knowingly put someone in a situation where they were around someone like that, Rogen told the Times, adding that he regrets his terrible joke on SNL. I can say it, it has changed many things in our relationship and our dynamic. With that, we end today's video. Join in a next time for more of such interesting content.